Hey everyone, how's it going? Rich here, hope you're well. Today I'm going to be showing you some awesome new stuff to do with terraforming for Monolith 3, and we have a really cool little AI drone system to show you. So what you're seeing here is what we call the farm, and the farm has these AI worker drones that last time we saw them they were just static, but now they've had all their AI written, all the logic's done, and basically we're super happy with it at the moment. And what they do is they will help terraform the planet. Basically, they're not locked to anything, they're totally free to go wherever they want, depending on what the task is, and you can have loads of them flying across the map, and it's all good. You can see the green radius around the farm. You won't see this for the final production, or we'll toggle it, but essentially this is the area that each farm covers. And inside that radius you'll be growing the vegetation that you select, right? So they will come and do their thing, and right now they're just cycling, so they're just going up and down, flying around and just keeping busy, right? And they're like worker bees, so they will burn out and they will die off, so you have to keep manufacturing them. So the farms need manufactured little mini drones essentially. And yeah, what you can see here is they're just flying around, looping, waiting for tasks. And we're just super happy with this whole system at the moment. So what I'm going to do in a second is fly over to another part of the map where we don't have the radius, and we can do an example, show you the actual functionality of it. And as you can see, like, they'll just fly through the sky, they'll do their thing, go back and forth, and I think there's even some going across map to go and do some work there. There is, yeah, here we go. You'll have to have hives. You can see one down there in the bottom right hand corner, but I'll show you another one in a second. The hives are what manufacture the worker drones essentially. It's just like a nest. They manufacture the worker drones, and it's all insect inspired, as we were saying the other day with our about a month ago with our concepts. All of our concepts are now awesome stuff. So I'm just gonna get some charge, and we'll just go over to the area that I've turned the radius off on, and then when we get over there I'll show you how it all works. Definitely going to be talking a lot about different things today. It's going to be so cool flying through these, especially as you're terraforming the world. We're gonna these ones are functional over here, so we're going to plant some stuff and see how they work. But we've got a lot to talk about today. How we connect the monoliths, how we connect each stage, improvements that we want to make to UI, and just generally what's coming in the game. So yeah, I think let's get started and go for it. What one? Okay, so I think we've got a couple of different things we can do. We do plants and we can do trees. So let's grab what we need. Yeah, so hopefully the plan is we can get a little forest going here, and let's go. Right, so as you can see here, this machine requires water, and it requires a catalyst, what we call a catalyst seed. So the catalyst seed goes in, and that is essentially the template for what you want this farm to grow. And then it requires water, nitrogen and phosphorus. Don't worry about the bucket thing. We're doing many fixes to the bucket thing, and you will be able to pipe water into this. I'm just using the bucket hack. It requires 1,000 liters of water and some nitrogen and phosphorus. So basically, once you set it all up, and it requires power, and it requires 2 power at the moment, but obviously it will require more when we actually get it done. This is all purely just for testing and functionality purposes at the moment, and you have to forgive if the frames are a bit low, but it's all in editor, and we still need to do a bit of optimization here, and when we package up, it's always way better. But yeah, so we'll get this one started and we will see what is happening here. So I'm going to hook up the power first of all, because these require power and water, and they have input and output. So, and then once you've got that all hooked up, like the rest of the stuff in the game, it will start to manufacture. So just hook up the power, and we're good. And now we should start to see that the drones, yes. So drones will now, once you've got everything involved, they'll come down, they'll start planting. Sorry, it will come down, start planting, and you should start to see dynamic plant growth in the area of effect, basically. So here's one. And this one, I think the seed that we picked was for plant life. So each little drone now is planting a little plant, and it will grow in real time and get larger and be randomized, and the drones will take care of the plants that they're assigned to, and they'll be collecting seeds after they've grown. And I'll explain the seed growth thing shortly, and how that works. But I think definitely need to increase like stuff like density on this one. Like I would like to see more plants in this particular one. But I think there's a tree. We definitely have trees. That's the Omega Catalyst. So if we go over to another machine and we get the tree catalyst, and we'll set up some trees because the trees look awesome. The trees look absolutely awesome. Hopefully we'll get a little forest set up soon. So same again, we'll set up the power, just set up this this particular one. And there'll be a few of these. It's not just limited to 2 at the moment. We'll definitely be adding more. We just got to decide what the right balance is, what the right mix is. Maybe it's 3, maybe it's 5. Not sure at the moment. We'll need to play test, maybe get some early play testers on before we lock it in, as to how much, what the different variations are going to be. Alright, let's get the tree catalyst and set this one up, and the trees show it way nicer. This is a way better, it gives more water. It's a way better example. Okay, let's do it. Now hopefully the trees will be planted, and yeah, here we go. Also, if I repeat myself in the video a few times, just bear with me because I forgot to record the audio for this first section, so I'm just having to redo the audio for this part. So if I do say anything twice, that's why, if you're thinking I'm losing my mind. But yeah, so these trees, they again will be planted and they'll spawn, and you can see some grey ones, but that's just because it's in editor and it's not loaded fully. But I'll plant some lights down here, and you can see the growth, and you can see that they accept real-time lighting and stuff, so that's really cool. And now a forest will just dynamically grow. And what I will do is, in a second, I'll cut to the forest which is a bit more grown, so we don't have to wait around for ages, and hopefully my original audio can take over, where I realised that I wasn't recording any voiceover. But there's an example of a hive over there. You can see a drone coming out now and going up in the sky, and that will continually manufacture. We've got it just manufactures at the moment with nothing in there, just for debug purposes. As you can see, it's got an input and an output, so it all gets linked up. And there's all the drones in the sky doing their thing. So I think, yeah, I think now's about the right time to swap over to the next footage. So I'll see you shortly. Now we have a full tree set up, and what will happen is I think you can even go up to each individual tree, and you can see its status. Tree growing 57%. You can see it, and then you can, like, now we're pretty much inside the woods, right? So we've got some performance things I'm sure we can do here, just to make sure that it's all good. And remember, it will be planet wide eventually. So this is really cool. Really happy with this. And we're starting to really make the big steps towards, you know, these are huge strides in terms of the game and in terms of what where we're moving towards and our goals, you know. So for example, this density of this plant field obviously needs to increase, and I probably would decrease the density of the trees, right? We're just doing some testing on all of it at the moment, but it all looks lovely. It all takes lighting. It all, you know, works really well. And if I go up, you can see the little forest. So how cool is that? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just do a forest. Why not? let's just do a couple of forests. Because it's been a while, so let's do a decent run through of exactly what we're doing and exactly how it works. So I'm going to do a couple of forests. The trees also get harvested as well. Nitrogen, potassium, let's just get loads of those because we need them. And we also need water. We'll talk about water in a second, like I said. And let's put like 2 of each in. And we'll fill it up 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think we need the tree catalyst as well. Tree. Let's get 4 of those. We'll do another 3 for us or something. And that one should be producing. So I have trees on that one. We'll do the same here. Like I say, the power setup will be more. And these will be lower, by the way. I've just moved them here. So the water pipe and power is not that high. I've just put them up there. I've just moved the entire thing for testing, but this whole unit is sunk in the ground. And yeah, so connections. We'll set up another one, and we'll do the same again. Put the buckets in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. And the seed. Right, we're away. Sun's rising now on our new forest. So I'll just let these 3 do their thing. And obviously they're going to have all of their special effects done and sounds. But this is a functional, this is now a functional like drone crafting system. It's something that we want to incorporate more, maybe even the beginning of the game as well. I think it's saving, sorry. Yeah, like I say, the auto-saving thing is something that we might not get time to do this update, but definitely we need to look at the why it's hitching and just get that out, you know. And that'll be a nice screenshot for the update, why not? So yeah, here we go. There's our forest growing, and that's the premise of the next stage of the game. There's a lot more to it. This is the core part of it. You will obviously have to manufacture the drones in what we call the hive. So the hive is here, no collision at the moment. You can see at the moment it's manufacturing drones. We've just got that as like a debug, you know. Just so we can test to make sure that this core gameplay is working correctly. So what happens is once you've got enough seeds from growing, it will deposit into the larger drones, and because Monolith 3 is not here at the moment, they won't take off. But in the testing map that we test on, they will take off and deliver all of the bulk seeds to the big Monolith, basically, which we'll be pulling in here soon. Yeah. That's another nice screenshot I think I'll grab. And so yeah, basically we're going to have a few different varieties of these. And how do we get water to it as well? So I want to talk about that quickly. We do have a pipe system, obviously, as some of you will know, who have played it before. And now we're introducing water drills, basically. So we're not sure how to balance these perfectly, but we will be essentially allowing the player to get water from pretty much anywhere. But I kind of like the idea that we can just build these drills. They can mine down and pump water up, and then you don't have to do pumping for miles. I don't know if that's fun, you know. So it's one of those things where I don't know if we've done the NWR, water drill. Oh, it is placeable. So I will place one. I'll just place one now. And it's starting to rain. Perfect. Water the plants. So do we have the connection for it? NWR pipe, we do. So that's done as well. Happy days. So we've got these awesome new pipes now. We've also done some modification to the old pipes, and basically you can now pipe it in to, we can just take a pipe, put it, like I say, these won't be up this high, it's my mistake doing that, and then we can just pipe it up we go, and we're connected. So now we've got water going in as well. So you have a whole pipe system like that. It might be cool to have like splitters or whatever, but we'll think about that in future. Right now you can just do 1-to-1, so 4 water drills, 4 pipes. The thing is, what we didn't want is we didn't want people running pipe for miles and miles and miles, and it's just a bit boring. We just found this a bit boring. We played other factory games as well with pipes, and we just thought it's a nice touch, but who wants to run the pipe from the lake up here? Like, come on. No one really, I don't think. Now, a couple of other things people have been discussing are, I need to switch over to Photoshop in a minute, but another couple of things people have been discussing are having to basically abandon base 1 and base 2. Now, we don't want that to happen anymore, so what we're going to do is essentially we're going to allow, like the player can teleport, right? We are going to be using the phosphorus and nitrogen and all of that, and chemical structure from Monolith 2. Yeah, we're going to take all of that, and we are going to teleport the items. So that base that you build over in Monolith 2 will not become redundant. It will become a part of your second outpost over here. We obviously don't have like trains or anything in our game, but what we are going to do is allow the player to ship product via teleportation. So you will put essentially, it's in player, isn't it? Yeah. So you can put an uplink station, but it will be basically a cargo uplink station, and you will be able to teleport boop boop A to B, and you can have your product, whatever it is, going in and out. And maybe we will do this for 1 as well, because I totally understand people's frustrations with the fact that they build the first part of the base and then they just go to Monolith 2 and that's that. So I think definitely we will have that connection and that link, so that now you can link up the 2 bases, right? And that means you can pretty much start manufacturing wherever you want, and you can link it in map wide to you know, to your like general manufacturing process. So look, these are all fully grown now as well. So the idea was, once it is grown, it kind of overtakes everything, you know. We'll go in here and have a look. Or I think some of our worker bees are dying. So yeah, very happy with this. This one's being harvested, this one's being harvested. So when they're being harvested, they get taken out the ground. They have a maturing phase for our forest as well. So yeah, it's cool. After they're fully mature, then they'll be harvested basically, and we've got this cool little shader that will disperse it. And obviously we need to do sound work and particle work and all of that, and special effects work and all of it. But in general, it looks lovely, and I'm really happy with it. Yeah. So that's our little forest. Well, it's our vegetation drone system. It's working really well. Like I say, I need to spend some time in here, definitely doing a bit of optimization and making sure we're good. But you will no longer have to base to base start again. You can just ship everything from 2 over to 3 through a teleporter. And yeah, so Monolith 3. I'm not going to show you much of that at the moment because I still need to do some work in there. And I may just reveal that when I finished it at this point, because I don't like showing absolutely everything that we're working on all the time. So yeah, so we've got our water drills, we've got our hives that will be manufacturing these drones when they burn out. We've got our farms, and this, if you keep it going, it's all consistent basically. It won't stop. And then we have our teleportation mechanic that's going in for connecting base to base. So very, very happy with all of that. And yeah, that's kind of it. The one thing I do want to talk about as well is UI and UX and general things like that. It's improved a lot, but I was actually having a talk with someone on the forums about the frustrations that player was going through, and I totally get that. I've put the debug on now for whatever reason. I don't know why. So yeah, I'm going to hop over to Photoshop and just go over some stuff that I think is going to be really important for the game. So let's have a look. I'm going to pause it here. Cool. Right, so here we are in Photoshop. So we're going over the UI again because we think that it's too confusing right now, and we think there's certain things that need improvement. So most of the time when you interact with a machine, you will see various different UIs and various different things, and the more we develop the game, the more we get custom situations where we're like, oh okay, this, we need to add a bit of UI on here, or we need to do something like this or something like that. Now what we did find is when we redid the crafting UI, that was really good and it was better for players, but the machine UI still needs work and it's still quite confusing and muddled. So what we're doing now is the crafting UI and the machine UI and all those kind of interaction UIs, they're all the same size, they're all uniform and consistent, and they will all have their own custom elements per item inside that uniform UI. So you'll have your machine name up the top here and what you're interacting with, its status and its power consumption, all of this kind of stuff. And by widening it out, it gives us more space for design, and it also gives us more space to make things easier to digest. Right now, when we have a reservation slot on a machine, we put this here and we like put the numbers in there and we put it all, like it's all just jumbled and super messy. So now what we'll be doing going forward is whenever you want to craft something, you'll be selecting over here just like you do in the crafting tab. So if it's in the machine, you craft it here, bang, manufacture or craft or whatever, however you want to put it, right? So that's that. And then it will tell you what your reservations are at the top here. It will all look like this all the way across. This is just an example, but yeah, I'll just copy and paste it and show you. But you know, so these three, it will look like that all the way across, and then it will tell you the number, so how much you've got, how much is reserved, what quantity is, etc. And then it'll give you, if you have got it in there, it will be, so that's your reservation at the top. If you have the item and the number in the machine, it will look like that, right? And if it's not a reservation, like it's not mandatory to make the item in that crafting machine, then it will look like, let's say this. So you'll have a spool, but it's not reserved, but you've got 100, and there you go. No reservation, it's a free slot. So, and when you change your craft, it will show over here. Let's say you are making something that requires the cogs and the spool. Yeah, this wire spool's down there, and the cog, for example, the gears even, sorry, well, they're small gears or whatever. You get what I'm saying. So you'll just get the gears and the spool done. You won't obviously see the copper steel electronics. This is purely just for examples purpose. But if you put these at the top, imagine they're there, and imagine that this is here, then you would essentially just see the two that you need, and you can go craft. And when you hit craft, it will reserve these two, and it should just all flow much nicer. It will tell you the exact amount that you've got in there, and it's all in separate boxes, and it'll all tick down correctly. So there's no more jumble, it's way more cleared out and way more easy to understand. It will then show you the output, and then if there is a custom thing like the water that we just went through in the last in the last clip, or if there's a custom anything, right? We've left space down the bottom for these two slots, so any custom machine can have its custom description down here. If it's a dirt thing or it's a fabrication thing or whatever, it doesn't matter. All customization, so our manufacturing happens in this bit here for everything. Nothing changes. Once you learn this, you've learned it for everything, and that's what we want to do going forward. Make it easy to digest and easy to read and easy to understand. Anything custom on top of that will be learned in this second box down here. Custom amount of water, custom amount of seeds, custom amount of power, whatever it needs, the customization is down there in the bottom. Because what we found out is we worked, like for example, putting the drone output on the drone pad. People like the drone output to see what's going on, but we just welded on another piece of UI that isn't really that great. So if you're on the drone pad, and this is the scrap version of this UI, there'll be a one for NWR. Now if you're on the drone pad and you look at it, your drone outputs and drone status and all of that will be in this box. And also we have so much room in here that we can just put in so much information for people that, you know, we've just got so much more real estate now to be like, okay, this is doing that, this is doing this, here's a drone readout. Let's say you want the screen for the drone readout, done, you know. So that's it. We'll be systematically going through all of the UI to tighten this all up. I'm aware there's still a few of these creeping like X's around that aren't great, so we're going to be going through that and taking those out. And we've been working on the shift click system that went in at the beginning of the game. Was like, it was just really janky, so we've been working on that and getting that done. And there's no better way to put it. We did it in a rush. I think it was a rush thing. It's someone who's no longer with us anymore at the company, not in life. But so we're just back engineering that, sorting out some bits, and yeah, we're just going to go over everything and just try and take out more of these quality of life issues that people have been having and not liking a lot, not enjoying. So the next UI rollout will come on Monolith 3. We'll be having all of that new awesome stuff in there, so it's easier to craft, it's more engaging, it's easier to digest. Plus we'll have Monolith 3 dropping with all its new features and all its new content. So a massive update to come for Monolith 3. I'm not sure if there'll be any more craftable items. I'm sure there'll be some coming, but what we'll be getting is, I know I'm just talking and you're looking at this UI, but basically what we'll be getting is teleportation, vegetation growth, UI overhaul in some areas, Monolith 3 and all of that transformation, more drones. And also at the beginning of the game, I do want to try and do some stuff there to make it funner for players, where they're struggling to either automate or craft and they're sick of digging. So we're thinking about some automated drones that can also be attached to the player's scrap drones that you can make, and they'll go mine for you and kind of land on the shredders and just deposit. So you're automating the cleanup straight away. And then so we'll automate the cleanup straight away. We'll chain it to Monolith 2. Monolith 2 chains to 3. So as you go on, the chaining is still there, and we still have that kind of consistency that you like in a factory builder, basically. And that's it. Controls, we're going to be doing some work on that and just giving people more options to customize, and also just getting rid of some of the irritants, the irritating stuff that people don't like in terms of our control structure at the moment. But I will leave it there because it's getting quite long. But thank you very much, everyone, for joining me this week, and I hope everyone likes the update that's coming. I'm pretty sure the next update I put out now will be the reveal. We're planning for this to be done by the end of July. So by the end of July, Monolith 3 should be here. I don't know what the exact date will be, but we're getting close. We're getting very close now to us being able to pencil in a date. So get hyped, everyone, because Monolith 3 is coming and lots more game is coming. Thank you for everyone's support, and I'll see you soon. Bye.